Hi, I'm Zach of Zach Drives and Scarborough Toyota. Today we're sitting inside a 2017 Toyota Corolla SE. In this video we're going to be looking at the 4.2-inch multi-info display in front of the steering wheel. Let's first start by opening the door and see what it looks like. Let's turn the car on, see what that looks like. So there's a ton of useful information available here on the center display, and the user has full control over that using the steering wheel buttons. So if we zoom out a little bit, look at the steering wheel, we see we have our navigation pad here, our return button here, and those are pretty much all the buttons you'll want to use to control that 4.2-inch screen. Also, you might want to use these two buttons here to change or turn on and off front collision sensing, as well as lane departure sensing. So let's zoom back in. Take a look at this first screen. So we see here we have the outside temperature indicated. We also have the shift position of the car's transmission, so it's currently in park. And then we have a list of display options, information, lane departure, notes, and settings. At the bottom, we have our trip meter. So let's first start by looking at the info screen. I'm going to push down on the screen, or on the trackpad, I should say. And we should see we have our fuel efficiency rating, liters per 100 kilometers. You can change the units if you really wish to. After a reset, you can set your average or instantaneous fuel economy. We have the range, so based on how much gas is in the car and how you're driving, the car will estimate how far it has to go before it'll run out of gas, and your average speed. We also have an eco indicator, so if you're driving with this shown in front of you, you'll see how well you're performing. A sway warning, so depending on your driving style, if a cup of tea would spill. Or we can turn the screen off. Next we'll go over to the lane departure, and this is effectively what it looks like. When you're driving with lane departure enabled, and you're above 50 kilometers an hour approximately, those lanes on the left and the right side, if seen on a clear flat day, will become solid. And if you happen to drift for one reason or another too close and deviate from your lane of travel, the solid line would start to flash, it would beep at you, and depending on if you're able to make a correction in time, it'll make a light adjustment to the steering wheel to keep you in your lane. We can also turn this feature on and off using the steering wheel control. And there's a warning to tell you that it's on or off. Also, look at the top right corner, we see an icon that stays on to let us know that it is in fact enabled. Next we'll go to our messages. There's a variety of messages that can appear here. There's no messages at this time, but you'll see in time as messages appear, stuff like if the windshield wiper fluid is too low, or perhaps maybe if you get a text message, I'm not too sure about that. And finally, settings. So our settings, we can turn on and off our lane departure warning or our pre-crash system. And we have settings for this. So for example, steering assist, we can turn that on and off and the sensitivity of that. Same with our sway warning if we're swaying too much. And the pre-collision warning, we can turn that on and off, and its sensitivity as well. We also have meter settings, so let's go into that. There's a variety of settings that we can pick here. So languages, we're in Canada, so we can pick between English and French. Units, kilometers, miles, or kilometers again. Kilometers per liter, I guess people like the use of instead of liters per 100 kilometers, which is fairly standard here in Canada. Eco, you can turn that on and off. Driver information. So if you're driver one with the first set of keys or the second set of keys, it'll tell you how you're performing. And color. So color, we can change the background display or the highlight colors, and it also changes the color on our 6.1 inch center console screen, or a 7-inch screen if we upgrade to the XSE package. So let's try yellow. As you can see, everything, the highlights turn yellow. Personally, I still like the blue. And we can always reset everything back to the factory settings. I'm Zach of Zach Drives and Scarborough Toyota. Feel free to message me or call me, and I'd be happy to meet with you in person at the dealership, Scarborough Toyota.